We set up CXEX 4 years ago because what we saw in contact centers was a real need to measure and monitor 100% of phone calls. And the current solutions using transcription and queries have a lot of false positives and are typically not adopted within contact centers at scale due to the cost, the ongoing maintenance, and the transformation effort required within the call centers. Rob and I chose a different approach. We wanted AI at its core 4 or 5 years ago when we started this journey. AI was used in many other industries, but rarely was used in contact centers. There's a huge amount of information generated from the phone calls. We process the calls through a speech-to-text engine, an emotion engine, and we elicit from the phone calls all the interaction analytics, pace of talking, over talking, silence, etc. These are really key measures within a conversation that when you're able to understand the phone call and understand what are the use cases and behaviors being shown on those phone calls, you're able to build an AI model through tagging. And then you're able to solve for complex human behaviors. What we see when we're speaking to clients is they want us to search for in conversations, where were my agents not empathetic? Where were they not professional? Where were they not getting the issue resolved for customers? We've taken those complex use cases and approached the whole thing of speech analytics in a different way to traditional businesses. After 4 or 5 years, we got these 40 to 50 listeners, AI models that we run across every single phone call, hundreds of thousands a day, and we're able to, at the call level, understand exactly what is going on within a particular phone call, but also in the aggregate from a trending perspective, which agent, which cues, which call reasons, which products are causing expressions of dissatisfaction or complaint risk, which agents are not showing empathy and why. What we've done is we've invested heavily in the AI, not only to build the models, but also to understand what's called explainability. Because at the end of the day, if we send a call to a claims handler or to a fraud investigator or to a QA agent or a team leader, and the AI has said this agent is not empathetic or there's a high risk of fraud on this call, the person receiving it wants to be able to review that call very quickly, understand why the AI model scored it as that, and then take their corrective actions. And what we're really doing is we're taking 100% of calls, distilling them right down to the key elements that need to be managed in a contact center, and really creating efficiencies from a customer experience and an employee experience perspective. Our whole go-to-market model is through partners. What we do as CXEX is we actually provide our solution through call center providers, platform providers, and they white label or OEM our solution. And the benefit of that is that we're able to understand their individual call center platform, the metadata it generates. Also, we're able to push back so that they can embed the analytics dashboards within their solution. So what they are able to do, our partners, is to actually gain stickiness of clients, because every 3 to 5 years, there's an RFP process to potentially look at changing the platform. It creates intense stickiness for our partners, but also great attraction. Speech analytics is growing worldwide because the cost of it has come down, and people like us are taking a different approach to speech analytics, predominantly AI. And what they're able to do then is to actually have a really enhanced offering to their customers. We've taken a old problem. Speech analytics has been around for 10 to 20 years. We've taken a very old established problem with all of its vagaries and challenges, and we've been disruptive. We've completely changed the way we look at it. Now, it's a growing market. Current penetration of speech analytics is very, very low. We're talking even here in Australia and New Zealand, a very small percentage, like 1% penetration at best. And we believe by driving down the cost using cloud computing, using our SaaS model, you're able to actually proliferate speech analytics, both customer experience and also managing the employee experience, but also helping people be more compliant to abide by regulations, ombudsman, etc. And so these macro drivers are coming into the market. And what we believe we've done is created a very scalable, repeatable business model through our AI models, our listeners. And so they are able to be deployed across multiple verticals, multiple different sizes size of clients, from small 5 seats up to 1,000 plus seats, and you're able to implement much more cost effectively and much quicker for those clients to start getting ROI. The traditional model, which is still in the market, is very high cost of licensing and a very high cost of professional services. So 95% of call centers have been shut out from the promise and the benefits of speech analytics. We believe we have cracked that code, and we're able to scale right down, to scale right up, and actually provide a much deeper, richer solution. So the benefits of speech analytics we can actually give to all facets of contact centers. Software and AI is always changing, and nothing's ever a set and forget. Where we are at, we have 11 clients in our business. Some of them use all of our auto insights. Some of them use specific elements like our predictive models, just the predictive models, because they already have a speech to text provider. But what we do is take that speech to text and actually build a very specific AI high value use case that they implement within their business. But we've got 11 paying clients, and what we're able to do from there is actually grow the capability, drive down cost for the end user for more proliferation. On a product roadmap perspective, we have done a lot in the last 4 or 5 years. We've developed these 40 to 50 listeners. We've operationalized all of the emotion and the outputs for clients. We've obviously listened to a lot of our clients in the last 4 years and understood exactly what they need within their operations team to be more efficient and actually identify those calls that need to be reviewed and which aspects need to be fleshed out more. It's a continual learning journey. We're growing client base, the team, and the data science expertise. But one of the key things that we see coming out of Europe and the US is these elements of ethical AI, being able to actually explain why your models are showing what they do, and also to manage for bias, model drift, to ensure that we're not scoring calls in a certain way and there has been a change in macro factors that make that old model obsolete. So we invest heavily in the continual analytical review, the human review of conversations, to ensure that the models are robust, but also current in the environment and the companies.
We've seen the emergence of ChatGPT, which is dominating the space of LinkedIn and things like that, certainly raising the awareness and educating our target audience. And that's really important because the AI started with a blast about 4 years ago. It went into the market, then we didn't hear much about it. And now it's reared its head, particularly conversational AI. And we're part of that conversational AI ecosystem. And people are talking a lot about the automation of the front end of call centers and so forth. The lessons learned after COVID and the lessons around managing customers is that, yes, there will be elements of automation in the front end of call centers. However, voice is still a key communication medium that people like and enjoy, and measuring the success of those voice conversations is complex, and we've got a leg start in terms of building these listeners. We've invested a lot of time and effort in tagging those data, and if you look at ChatGPT and OpenAI and the models they use, they all use human tagging. We don't do it at the scale they do it, but we are a niche of a niche of a niche, and so that's a barrier to entry. And just to emphasize what Billy said about ethical AI, we're anticipating the day when organizations and their RFPs will ask you, how are you measuring and how are you ensuring the quality and the robustness of whatever you're scoring as a behavior coming through?
For the first 4 years, we didn't take on any external funds. So we've sort of leapfrogged that angel investment. We're lucky that we've had upwards of 20 clients doing consulting projects. We've been able to, have revenue to invest in building all of the product and solution and taking on human capital to do the necessary technical, analytical, and data science work. Where we are now, we're at a team of 10, and that's split into engineering, data science, business analysts, and sales pretty evenly across the 10. And what we are now doing is we're looking at doing a $600,000 capital raise. And what that will enable us to do is to take our current solution, which our clients love, however, to really productize it and operationalize it at the next level. And we're able to proliferate and target additional markets like the UK and the USA. Got a pitch deck. It is a long form pitch deck. It's not a one-pager. Whenever money is discussed, there are a lot of questions about the market, your differentiators, the competitive landscape, etc. So we do have a 40-slide pitch deck, 20 pages of content and 20 pages of appendices for interested parties.